there, set there. Boom, on time. Here we go. Let's start it from the top. It's preseason. Let's start it from the top. All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Sunday evening. I am happy to announce the first edition of Postgame Live Preseason Edition presented by SeatGeek. Go to SeatGeek.com or use the SeatGeek app and use our code KFTV10 for 10% off your order. The Knicks back in action down in the QC, aka MSG South, with the new cast of characters. Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, and the like. We're going to town against LaMelo, Brandon Miller, and company for a little preseason run. We got to see some good things from the starters, some good things from the bench, and let's overreact to all of it like we always do, man. Call us up, 657-383-1509, or you can hit us up on the KFTV Discord, CP the Fanchise, Alex Trataros, on the ones and twos. Let's get it going, man. Like, share, subscribe. The number one show for the fans by the fans is on and popping. Little delayed start, but we still started on time now.
Look at that.
Preseason.
Look at that. Preseason, on time, no interruptions. We're ready to go, man.
Ready to go.
I'm ready to talk about Knicks basketball because if any of you had to wake up at 9:30 to watch that game.
Yeah, we'll forget about those guys for the time being and focus on the orange and blue, man. Karl-Anthony Towns, 10 points, 4 boards, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5 from downtown in his Knicks debut. What'd you like about Cat tonight, man? Talk to me about Cat, man.
So what I like is that you can see the spacing with this team, right? I'm looking forward to seeing what everything looks like when this team is in rhythm. You see that it's just everyone just has to get in a groove, right? It's a little shaky. Not everyone was on their A game tonight, but you see what this team is trying to do from an offensive standpoint. You like that Karl-Anthony Towns can space the floor. I mean, how about that deep three that he took today, you know? But, man, I just want to see this team rolling, man, because we didn't really get to see much of that. Brunson misses some shots here and there. He had some nice, cuts from OG and so forth. But from Cat, man, I just want to see him being able to space the floor. It's nice that he could take it off the dribble and attack the rim. He's going to be just spacing the floor for the entire team. That's all I can really say from the get-go. It's nice that you can put the floor on the deck, the ball on the deck.
Yeah.
Pause. But hey,
yeah,
good stuff so far from Cat. What do you like?
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, he played as I expected him to. First shot of the game, comes in and knocks down a 3. Let me just reset that there. Comes in and knocks down a 3, first shot of the game. They were running some plays for him out of the post, out of the low post. So I like what I saw from Towns, man. I thought he was active out there. I'm trying to get the Towns highlights up. I had the highlights there, but it didn't come across. But similar to how they would run offense through Hartenstein, you're gonna see the same with Towns, but more efficient, more effective. And he's going to be able to use his size. Jalen can play off of him. You saw some nice cuts off of those Towns low post entry passes. Making some plays at the top of the key. Defensively, I thought he was strong. I thought he was solid defensively in protecting the rim. I thought he did a good job overall, man.
For sure. Defensively is where I was actually really impressed because when he was out in Minnesota, right, he always played at the level when it came to like opposing team sitting a screen, right? And of course, you have Rudy Gobert back there. So out in Minnesota, so they were able to do stuff like that, and also to shade Towns' weakness in working in drop coverage because he doesn't have the quickness, the lateral quickness, and the recovery speed, or even that ability to leap like Mitchell Robinson. Yeah. But what I did like from the defensive end from Cat is that you saw that there was still some rim protection. He's not a high flyer as we get out of Mitch, but still you saw he was able to get some blocks, protect the paint at a decent level. I mean, he is going against Nick Richards, so
yeah,
it's nothing too crazy. I want to see what it looks like against better big, someone like Kristaps Porzingis, Joel Embiid. You want to talk about Nikola Jokic. I want to see what it looks like when Cat has to go against other elite centers or top centers in the league, because that's really going to be a testament to how this defense able to maneuver, right? So I'm looking to see how Tibbs is going to adapt when we play better teams moving forward. But for tonight, man, Tiz went back to his tried and true drop coverage, and Karl-Anthony Towns was able to do the damn thing tonight. So defensively wasn't too bad. But look, man, it's the Charlotte Hornets. I don't want to overreact too much, man.
Yeah,
I don't want to overreact too
this
much.
This is what we do, man. Go ahead, man. Don't be ashamed, man.
I'm
Jump, man.
I'm trying to temper expectations, man. I'm trying to temper expectations.
Go ahead and jump, man.
I still need to see stuff, man. I still need to see things play out during the regular season. Like I said, let's see him play against the top centers in the NBA. But for tonight, man, if you're a Knicks fan, you gotta be pretty optimistic, because if Tibbs is still able to play drop coverage with Karl-Anthony Towns, then defense may not take a big slip, especially as I was looking for this team on the onset.
Good points. Good points by you there, man. And yeah, video's lagging a little bit. We'll get to cruising altitude in a little bit. TM, I see a message in the chat. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. I see my Fanchise channel members are getting active in the chat, man. If you are a Fanchise channel member, go ahead and give us an emoji in the chat. Let us know that you're in here heavy. How about the starting five? You know, we were wondering what the starting five was going to look like. It looked like the five that I expected. It was Brunson, Bridges, Hart, OG, and Towns. And I think that's the five that you're going to see. And we'll talk about McBride in a little bit because he also looked good. But I think that's the five that you're going to see. You put your three best wings out there. You stay versatile. But also, Hart is just so critical in doing a little bit of everything. Scoring, rebounding specifically, and facilitating as well. So you kind of need him to see if he can be kind of what like Derek White is to a lesser extent with Boston, like that glue guy, utility guy that's going to get everything done. And him rebounding, I think especially, is going to take pressure off of OG having to rebound a lot at the 4 spot, which you don't necessarily want him mixing it up every time and having to bang in that paint to go grab a board. So at least if you have Hart there, you can kind of take that pressure off.
For sure. And when you look, I don't know about you, man, but I don't know if you noticed when they show like the card, right, to begin the game and who's playing what position. They had Brunson and Bridges as the guards. They had OG and Hart at the forwards, and obviously Cat at the center. And I was like, and sometimes the way that they do it is like obviously the point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and then center. And they had Hart at the power forward position. I'm like, is this just like you know, is this going to be like the way that the Spurs had with Tim Duncan, where is he a center? Is he a power forward? We have no idea. Is Josh Hart a guard, or is he a power forward? Is he a small forward? We have no idea. So, you know, he's definitely going to have to be that glue guy, as you mentioned. You're going to need a little bit out of him. We know he can do something of like that Bruce Brown type role where he can do simple pick and roll reads. You know, he can attack out in transition. We know he likes to get downhill and just muscle his way to the rim, you know, but I think this team as a whole, man, we're just going to need to see where that playmaking outside of Jalen Brunson comes from, right? Because, look, as much as, you know, Knicks fans had their way with or feelings about Julius Randle, he was another guy who created shots. He was able to spray it out to the perimeter for open shooters. And we saw what happened in January. So I'm looking for who's going to take that next step, who's going to fill that void now that he's gone. We're talking about 6, 7, 8 assists during that time period, right? That has to be made up for. So is it going to be a collective? Is it going to be somebody like Josh Hart? Is it going to be a Mikal Bridges? Who is going to be that guy who sets other players up? That's the question moving forward.
Good question there. And speaking of Mikal Bridges, 4 points for Bridges in his Knicks debut, 2 of 5 from the field, 13 minutes. What did you think of Mikal Bridges tonight, man?
I like it, man. I like the way that he was guarding on the perimeter. You see that he's just going to be attached to any player's hip, just making sure that they're uncomfortable when they're trying to shoot from 3 or just attack the lane. That's what he's known for doing, man. And so the way that this Knicks team has created this defense is that you're going to have Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, guys who are really good at guarding the perimeter, right? OG, one of your more switchable, versatile isolation defenders. And then if you get Cat as the guy who can protect the rim, then this thing is going to move forward, and you're going to have a top 10 offense, defense for the New York Knicks yet again. But for Bridges, man, you just see what he wants to do. He wants to be able to cut, knock down threes when he can, take the open shots. You even see him trying to create in the mid-range too.
Yeah.
looking for him to now just get a little bit more comfortable. And this is just like a whole feeling out process, man.
Yeah.
Between the entire starting five, it's like, all right, how do we all start to gel? There's been a complete overhaul, even with Josh Hart going into the starting rotation. So how does everybody fit? And where are the shots that everyone's going to start taking once everyone's in rhythm? So you see Bridges trying to figure out, like, bring a little bit what he did from Brooklyn. So
Yeah.
it's still a work in progress, but look, man, this is something that Tom Thibodeau talked about on the Roommates podcast. This team likes to get rolling later into the season. So I'm expecting this team to still get wins, but it's not going to be pretty from the jump. But starting December, January, I expect this team to really be rolling, and we're going to start seeing these guys get comfortable, especially for someone like Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, I agree. I think if for out of everyone, it'll take him the most amount of time to get acclimated and really carve out a role for himself. Towns is a guy who can play off of guys. He's going to be getting after it on the boards, and Jalen's going to be playing off of him in that pick and pop scenarios, which I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of that. But with Bridges, I think he'll need to find his role. And I don't know if it's kind of having him run with that second unit. We'll have to see. But you give him some time and let him get his feet set with this rotation. To the bench, another storyline, very important. Knicks bench last year, one of the worst scoring wise in the NBA, but our guy picked up right where he left off, man, and that is Deuce McBride. The Deuce was loose today. Got into his bag, 8 of 18 from the field, 4 of 9 from downtown, 22 points for Deuce. He looked good, man. He looked very good, and he's going to be very important. With Dante gone, Deuce becomes vital to the second unit's success, man.
CP, how about him? Just like, I don't know about you, but because since I'm not in New York, I couldn't have the pleasure of listening to Breen do the broadcast.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Hornets broadcast, which was pretty entertaining.
Okay.
They were shocked, as I was, when McBride just pump fake, sidestep, knocked down a 3. And I was like, okay, This is very different.
Yeah.
This is very different from the Miles McBride that we used to see, man. This was a guy that was timid to shoot, that when he did shoot, it was just like, either going into outer space, it was hitting the back iron, everywhere but the net. And to have that type of confidence, it still looks like he's playing against the Philadelphia 76ers like we saw last season, CP. Yeah. So and he's still picking up 94 feet too in preseason. This is totally a Tibbs guy. Shout out to Chris Persianen, who, said the Knicks had some sort of interest in Marcus Smart. I don't know why you have that type of interest when you got somebody like Miles McBride on this roster and I get it. I get that's preseason, but still, this guy looks like he is not skipping a beat. He has been putting in that work. And look, man, he's the sixth man, first guy coming off the bench, and rightfully so. And you see it. The one thing I want to see more of, though, him attacking the basket. That's the only thing, because I think everything else is going to be fine. His jump shot's going to be fine. We know defensively he's going to be fine. He's going to be tenacious on that side of the ball, on that side of the court. But I just need to see him just get comfortable driving to the rack and converting at a high rate, because if he can do that, then we're really talking about him being able to bend the defense.
That would be ideal. But you saw the bench configuration that they had out there. It was Campaign pushing the point and having Deuce play off of him. And I think that's what you're going to see, at least in the onset. We'll get to Kolek in a little bit, but I think you're going to see Campaign as that point guard running off the bench with Deuce playing off of him. But also on the bench, overreaction be damned. I think Landry Shamet made the team tonight.
He did.
16 points, 6 of 11, 4 of 8 from downtown, moving without the ball, moving well. I think Landry Shamet legitimately made the Knicks tonight. Exhibit 9 contract. He needs a spot, man.
When you can shoot, man, you always got a spot in the NBA, especially the way that it's going. Yeah. I know there's been questions about his game in the league for so long, but man, you just see him go 6-0 for 11 from the field, 4-8 from down. That's what you need coming off the bench, man. Yeah. And he's going to be able to space, especially if we want to help McBride be able to get downhill, or even Campaign, or even Tyler Kolek, man. We got to talk about Kolek in a second. But for guys like that, that's why you have someone like Landry Shamet. And even look, when they brought the starters back in, I think it was Brunson, it was Cat, and they brought Josh Hart back in. They still left Shamet and McBride out there, right? And I'm wondering, like you don't do it for too long because Shamet doesn't have great defense.
Right.
But still, if he's on a heater, you can leave him out there, and you still get space, man.
Yeah.
You're still going to have space for Brunson to attack, even for Cat. Like this is just, man.
Did a
I never
good
seen
job.
this team with so much shooting.
Did a good job. 2 steals. Got into the passing lanes. Thought he was active. Very active. On both ends of the floor. And so, with that last spot between him, TJ Warren, like, I don't see why he can't. With Mook gone, I think that last spot will go to Shamet. You need that shooting off the bench, man. You need some firepower and some more shooting efficiency, especially with Dante gone. Like, it's up to Deuce. Shamet's going to be one of those guys. Campaign, I don't know. I think he'll ultimately shoot his way out of the rotation and you'll get Kolek in there. But, between Deuce and Shamet, that's your firepower off the bench. You're going to need that.
Absolutely. Can we talk about Kolek, man? Can we?
Yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about Tyler, the creator, man. Let's go.
Because this guy, I'm like, I
good.
thought
He looked good.
There were rumors where he was going to, have a roster spot or depth chart spot over Campaign, and I wasn't too shocked, but I was like, man, I like to see Kolek against the second units right now. But then he gets in there, and then you start to see the creation. He doesn't waver under any pressure whatsoever. That is beautiful. The fact I'm watching him do slip screen passes to guys cutting down the middle of the lane. Yep. I'm seeing him knock down threes. It is insane what he is doing as a rookie. I get that it's preseason, but if he's not in the rotation from day one of the regular season, he is going to fight and get a spot higher up on the depth chart than where he is right now. He will not be wearing green or whatever that practice color is for too long, CP. Yeah. He was going to get in over Campaign because the facilitating, the shooting, even defensively, you see him getting the block, then knocking down a three. That's what you need from a guy coming off the bench. And I think him next to Deuce, especially if you got Deuce as a shooter, and you have someone that is just as calm and patient as Kolek, that's tough, man. That'll be a tough bench.
Yeah, he looked good, man. First bucket, step into a 3. You saw a nice little 2-man game where he fed Precious for the lay-in off the pick and roll. That was nice. I mean, Kolek picking up right where he left off, man. Doesn't seem like there's a defense out there that is, too much for him to handle at the next level. Defensively is where he's going to get tested. All right, when he got into the game, he gave up a bucket, so he's going to get tested defensively. But offensively, he's ready to roll, and it's only a matter of time before he gets Campaign spot. We'll see what Tibbs does, how situational he'll be and how he'll grow into his role. But he's gonna get that spot sooner than later.
So fresh, ABM saying, Alex, chill out. It's just one precinct. No.
Overreact.
This is the only
overreaction
time I'm going to overreact for a rookie. Come on.
Yeah, he'll get that spot eventually, but he looked good. He definitely looked good. So, good job by Kolek on the night. He finished with 11, 3 of 5 from the field, 3 of 5 from downtown, all 3 3-pointers, 1 assist, and 2 steals in his minutes. So that was pretty much that, man. Precious looked good. Precious he played 33 minutes, a team high 33.
What is Tibbs doing?
Tibbs.
Good God, man.
A team high 33.
We need center depth. And this guy's playing.
Yeah.
Our backup 4/center, 33 minutes in the preseason game.
Looks comfortable, though. Looks comfortable in Tibbs' system. He's another important guy off the bench. Deuce the most important guard, and Precious the most important big for sure. So I thought he looked good. Thought Precious looked good out there, man.
He did look good, and this is why it was. It took a while for him to be re-signed by the Knicks, and this is why there was some concern. Like when we discussed this offseason, I was like, there's like, wait, we need to bring Precious back just to have good depth, and it looks like he's going to continue that same type of success that he had when he joined the Knicks last year after the first 5-10 games or so.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's going to start the season on a strong footing. So looking forward to Precious being that backup 4, 5 for this team, because when you look at Jericho Sims and what he did out there's still some work for Jericho Sims, man. Like,
yeah.
There was one rebound where I liked the patience and he tried to dunk it and then he got to the free throw line, but still, it just feels like when you watch him defensively, he's still just unsure the positioning he needs to be in order to truly protect the rim.
Yeah, I agree with you. Did snag some double-digit boards, 10 boards for Sims tonight. But, just got to lock in a little bit more. But now's the opportunity. No Mitch. This entire preseason is his opportunity to get stronger and get tougher and lock in, especially on the defensive end. But overall, I thought Sims was, decent. 10 boards for Sims tonight. So, can't complain too much, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP and Alex on the ones and twos. Call us up, 657-383-1509, or you can hit us up on the KFTV Discord. Shout out to D-Nice Al, $5 super chat, says Tyler Kolek popping. Let's go. That's an interesting nickname. King D's gave him the creator. We did have Tyler the Creator, which is still in the lead, but Coca-Cola is not that bad, bro.
I like the creator, man, because this guy's going to be creating for all of his teammates. I like that. I like that.
We got a shout out to Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Al, $10 super chat, says Knicks Nation salutes. I missed everything. He's in flight, safe flight, Chuck. However, it seems Postgame is in between a rock and a hard place all season. Winning is expected, losing is excuses. Here we go. Enjoy the sip, don't guzzle. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, man. In flight, but still tapping in with the #1 show for the fans by the fans.
That's how you do it, man. You got to stay locked in. This is one of the more anticipated Knicks seasons. It was already anticipated from the jump after getting Bridges. Now with Cat and Bridges, whole new roster. We're all trying to see how all this shakes out, man.
Biggest Knicks season since 1994. 93, 94. No question about it. All right, we're going to get to the phone. 631. I see you on there. Hang tight. But to the Discord we go. We got to go to Tampa. We got to hear from Rambo. Let's go. Unmute your mic, sir.
Salute to all of you guys. Hope you had a great summer. We back, post-game show. Oh, man. Listen, it's nothing but love, man. I know that all my Knicks fanatics out there was waiting for this game all week like myself. Man, it was beautiful, man. I love to see it. I love to see that we back. Hey, shout out to you, Alex. I know little man's first birthday was this past summer. I hope it was great. CP, shout out to you. We seen all the trips you went on, man. Dope, man. I'm so happy the Knicks is back, man. I loved everything I've seen out there. I love the spacing with Cat. It's preseason. But doesn't mean we can't overreact.
Yeah.
But we're not going to focus on the bad things. We're not going to focus on all the chemistry that needs to be built, the rust that needs to be knocked off. We're not going to focus on none of that, man. Yeah. But there was a lot of good things I've seen today, man.
Yeah. It's good ball movement. Ball movement was solid tonight.
Ball movement was solid.
Yeah.
We seen Cat with a couple little flashes. He's showing us what he's going to give us this regular season. I love that. I love to see all that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But this preseason really, as we know, is part of the 9-man rotation tryout. Okay, and there's really only like 2 spaces available. So we're trying to figure out. So shout out to ShamWow because he was out there with it today, and I like to see that campaign. You deaf, man. I want to see Tyler up there already, man.
They're already tied a campaign. Preseason overreaction #1.
Listen, I'm ready to
They don't want to see the windup, CP.
I forgot how ugly his shot was. It's nasty. It's nasty work. But he's gonna give me Alec Burke vibes. Good veteran depth playoffs. I could see it right now. I could taste it. I could see everything. I could see even Jalen Brunson hitting Cat on the pick and pop a little sooner because I've seen him miss that a couple times tonight. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I really am. Only thing I don't like is I don't like Josh Hart starting. I don't like it. I got to be honest with it. I know it's first game, but this is my overreaction.
Okay.
I just, a lot of people said it. He looked kind of lost out there. He's a great teammate. He's going to defer. But you know what? The best Josh Hart I seen was during the playoffs when he had no choice to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to give him the opportunity to be with that second unit.
Yeah.
It's a 9-man rotation. You're going to see a lot of players, whether it's Mikal, whether it's Cat, whether it's OG, they're going to be playing with that second unit on stagnant minutes regardless. So I'm not looking at that bench unit that came in as 5 strong. It's not coming in 5 strong like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would love Josh Hart to be more or less part of that second unit. I would prefer to put somebody up there that's not gonna go out there demanding too much, but it's gonna give you little things that you need. And for
Okay.
me, that would be maybe Sims. I like to see Sims out there because I got to see OG go up for the ball and come back down and wince at his knee one time again. It's only the preseason, first game. I know you guys caught that.
Yeah.
With OG.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I don't need him going up for too many rebounds. Go ahead, put Sims out there. He got 10 rebounds very quietly. That's cool. We doesn't need too much.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather have him out there. But that's where I'm at with him, man. Hey, salute to all you guys to be back.
Yes, sir.
I know I am. I'm in preseason mode, but I'm gonna bring it back.
Rambo, appreciate you, man. That's Rambo on the check-in. Rate Rambo's take in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. He says he did not like Hart starting. I gotta give him some time, man. I gotta give him some time. I'm with Tibbs, 20 games. Gotta give him some time, man. It's preseason.
Who would be the alternatives? What do you? He said
The
Sims,
alternative
but I
is
just don't see.
Deuce.
I think Deuce. I was expecting him to say Deuce, not Sims.
Yeah.
But I just think you're gonna need Hart out there for defensive purposes, for rebounding.
You need boards.
Yeah. I just see it and just to have a quick start to pushing the pace. I know it's like I said, this is game 1. This is all new for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Because let's look at the starting 5 last season. It was Brunson, Grimes, RJ, right? Randall,
Completely
and
different.
then Mitch. And then when we got halfway, right? After the OG trade, it was Brunson, Dante, OG, Randall, and Hartenstein. So now we're doing a complete whole new starting 5 with Brunson being the only constant. It's just going to take time, man. It's going to take time. And it's a different philosophy than what they were trying to do last year. Last year was all about defense, then offense. Now we're becoming more of an offensive focused team. So I think it's just going to take time, man.
Yeah.
And for Josh Hart, you're going to need that physicality. You're going to need the rebounding. And Tibbs is probably going to have him out there because from my recollection, from all the research I've done, there's never been a Tom Thibodeau team that has ever been out of the top 10 in the league in rebounding. And rebounding is a big thing for him. You got to control the boards because you want to control possessions, man. It's like controlling the clock in football.
Yeah.
That's why you have all your rebounding power out there.
True indeed, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up on Free Boys. CP and Alex on the 1s and 2s. Knicks win 111-109 in the preseason opener. Thanks to Dwayne Washington. Missed free throws out. Dwayne Washington gets fouled by Precious in the closing second on a three-pointer. Puts him to the line, and poor Dwayne was unable to cash in. And the Knicks were able to escape. So there you go. Shout out to Dwayne Washington. Yeah, Dwayne Washington out there. You had Daquan Jeffries out there looking to get revenge.
They all got paid. Whoa. There's no revenge. There should be no revenge. These guys got paid. The Knicks did them. The Knicks did them right. They all got paid. So they said, right. You know what? We're going to give you a favor right now. We losing this one.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. If the Knicks lost tonight, all hell would have broken loose.
Yeah,
right? We could be chill right now. It would have been all hell.
Shout out to Dwayne Washington, man. Great job by him. Okay, let's salute Christian B, Fanchise channel member. $5 super chat says the deuce is loose. Back with postgame like you guys never left. Got my tickets versus the Hornets for the NBA Cup. Hope to see you guys there. Shout out to everybody down in the QC. They were representing us well. They were loud and proud. Preseason game number 1. They were holding it down. They had the deuce chants going in there. So, we here, man. We are here. So shout out to them. All right, Ace on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Ace.
CP, Alex, Knicks Nation. How y'all doing?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. As of right now, couldn't be better, right?
Okay.
Got a new team, so just kind of got to try to just find those new roles, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has to really refine their places, has to get redefined. But I like the energy, right? The energy translated the very thing that created this identity for this team, the toughness, the grit, the New York spirit. They embodied that tonight, and I respected that. I liked what I saw with that. the thing with Cat, it didn't seem as refined. But again, preseason, right?
Yeah, it's just preseason, man. It's just
preseason.
And
one of the things I like from that, first thing that came to mind with me was the Pacers. We can be what the Pacers was to us with Miles Turner spacing the floor out against us.
Yeah,
we can do that to Embiid. That's the first thing I thought of with Cat, the addition with him, how we can now take him out of being able to relax in the paint on the defensive end and get him active on the perimeter. Now with the addition of Cat.
Pull the centers away from the basket, man.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But the team was just great, right? The bench guards, the new depth. It was just a breath of fresh air. Kolek was amazing.
Yeah.
He was a great passer. One of his biggest concerns was the defensive end of the ball, but when he got in the game, it's almost like he was saying, I'm not trapped in here with y'all. Y'all are trapped with me. He had a block, a steal. He was active.
And defensively is what's going to keep him out there on the court. So he's got to keep working there because offensively, he seems like a natural, man. He'll be fine. But it's just defensively, he's just got to lock in. But definitely impressed with Kolek tonight, man. Appreciate the call, man.
Yes, sir. Wait,
yep.
You mind if I say a couple more points?
Yeah, rapid fire because we got a lot of people on the line. But go ahead, it's preseason game number one. We got a lot of people.
Yeah, I got you. Shamet was Dante-esque with his shooting.
Yeah.
Payne's energy was amazing. The stats weren't good.
Yeah.
And Deuce was just all the above, right?
Yep.
As long as Cat really embodies that toughness that Randall brought, if he can give a fraction of that and this team remains the same identity that got them this far, I feel like we'll be good. It was a great win. It was a great night.
There you go, man. Ace on the Discord, tapping in with us. The members lounge is popping right now, Al. We are loading the people up on the members lounge. Hang tight. We're gonna get to you. But to his point on the utilization of Towns and how to utilize him, this is the graphic that I had, and I used it during one of our off-season shows. But it's a graphic that shows how teams did in terms of pulling centers away from the basket offensively. And last year, the Knicks were last in the NBA in terms of where rim protectors stood in relation to the basket on Knick possessions. And so the Knicks rim protecting defenders were 7'8" away from the basket versus the Knicks. Conversely, Al, who do you think number one was?
Right, the Celtics.
11-4. 11-4. They cleared the league. 11-4. Then you have clustered up together. You have OKC, right? Mm-hmm. Chet. Pacers. Miles Turner. Bucks. Brook Lopez. Yeah, the Warriors right there. So you kind of see like where the best offenses were. For the most part, and you can see that all these guys had floor spacing fives, bigs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and look, when I look at this chart, right, the only thing that I wonder is about OKC. How has that changed now with Hartenstein out there?
Yeah.
But the thing is that you see, and when you look at most of these teams, you see the Pacers, the Bucks, the Sixers in there, the Heat. Like, these are all teams the Knicks would have to go through the playoffs, especially the Celtics being at the top. So this is why they made that move for Karl-Anthony Towns. We still have to watch it all play out. I mean, this is all still great on paper, right? We're starting to see what it can all look like slowly through one preseason game. We're seeing the idea, right? It's going to take some time for them to gel. I expect this to be one of the best offenses the Knicks have had in quite some time, just because we saw it tonight, man. That man was shooting like 26 feet, 27 feet away, right?
Yeah.
For a three. That's going to change things dramatically. Imagine you do a high pick and roll with Brunson or pick and pop at that, and then you give it to Cat and he can just drill it from downtown over there. That's crazy.
Right.
It's absolute craziness. So the Knicks should be now above what we have between the Pacers, the Bucks, or even around there, and it's all to compete with the Celtics, who don't have one, they have two, right? Because even Al Horford, when they play him at the five, he can knock down threes.
Yeah.
So they never lose that moment. I wonder moving forward, when you face a team like that, who has not one but two centers that can knock it down from deep, Like, how do you adjust for something of that nature, right? Because we
Yeah.
still have Mitchell Robinson. We still have traditional centers on this team, like Sims as well, that will have to go out there and conversely don't draw, their opponents away from the basket like that.
True indeed. Knicks Nation, man. The Knicks were down in the QC in Charlotte for the first preseason game, and Knicks Nation was well represented. For those of you guys that are going to be going on the road or to Madison Square Garden, get your tickets through SeatGeek and use our code KFTV10 for 10% off your tickets. That is for all customers, first time or repeat customers. 10% off your tickets, up to $20 off, using our code KFTV10 with our guys at SeatGeek. Special announcement, SeatGeek is going to be with us for the entire Knicks season. So shout out to SeatGeek, man, the #1 ticket app of KnicksFanTV. Remember, when you go on SeatGeek, look for the green dots. Those are where the best deals are. The green are good, the red ones are bad, so you may want to hold off. So when you're looking for your Knicks tickets, greens are good to great deals. Red ones, you want to hold off on those. KFTV 10 for 10% off your order. So shout out to our friends at SeatGeek for tapping in with us, #1 show for the fans by the fans. Want to shout out our guy Nicky Pipes, our $50 super chat from a Fanchise channel member. Says Rambo is spot on. We need Hart's energy off the bench. Yeah, I'm overreacting. What do you guys think about Nicky Pipes' super chat, man? We're just gonna have to wait and see. I can't disagree with that. We gotta wait and see, man.
It's a talking point that's also been going through Knicks Twitter, man. Some are saying that they want to see Deuce in the starting rotation, which I get it. I get why you want to say that. I mean, you just watched him just shoot threes today. I mean, and defensively, you won't lose anything defensively, but I think the thing that you do lose, though, is height, right? And the versatility. Like, the way that Tibbs is probably looking at this is that you're going to have a weak defender, Brunson, out there.
Yeah.
Right? He tries, but he's not the best defender, all right? Cat, not known as the greatest defender. I know tonight he was decent. It was against the Charlotte Hornets. As I said at the top of the show, we got to see him go against better teams. I don't think the Hornets are going to be up there. They may be a play-in team, so between 7 to 10, but they don't scare me as an opponent, especially with, they have a consistent roster. We have a bunch of new guys essentially trying to gel, and we're still in this game.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at what Hart offers is that he is, 6'4", tough. We've seen him guard guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Like, you need that, man, especially when you have guys, like I said, Brunson and Cat, who are not known as great defenders. You need to, shore up everything else around the edges of those guys to make sure that you can guard anybody. Like OG, we might see nights where OG is guarding the center, Cat's guarding the 4, right? That's how everything's going to have to shake up. There might be times where, even though Bridges is going to be designated as the shooting guard, you might have Josh Hart guarding that guy, and Bridges takes a different opponent just because you want that physicality that Josh Hart will provide. Because, look, I've been at games where I've watched Josh Hart guard Tatum, and he's deterred Tatum from wanting to drive to the basket, and he's just settled for shooting threes. So that's the defensive versatility and toughness that Hart offers. So I just think for Tibbs moving forward, this is what he's going to want. As great as a defender Deuce is, he just doesn't offer that versatility where you can say, all right, 1 through 4, he can guard. 1, 2, maybe 3 on some occasions, but Hart offers a little bit more than that.
Let's get to the phones, man. LD on the Discord. LD, should Josh Hart be starting at the 3, 4, 5, whatever it is? Should Josh Hart be starting, man? Your thoughts?
Yeah, we're going to need him right now because, again, we don't know what's going on with Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
And he's kind of the best for now. But that goes to my question. What is up with Mitchell Robinson? What's the status with Mitch? Do we know?
No. Well, the report 2 weeks ago was that best case is December, but it all depends on how he rehabs. So they don't really have a timetable, and it's clear that they don't want to rush anything as it relates to Mitch because he's just that vital for the team. They got to make sure he's good and strong.
Yeah, everybody's right. I mean, we would prefer for Josh Hart to come off the bench, but for now, we just got to use who's best at that role of getting rebounds and things of that sort. I think everybody's going to be good. Today's game is great. We know what we're going to get from Brunson, Cat, Bridges, OG. It comes down to what we get from Mitch if he comes back, and then who's the QB1 for the second unit.
Yeah.
over the season, over the off season, whenever Kolek's name was mentioned, some people got a bit offended, thinking it's a shot at McBride. The truth is, McBride is more of a 3-and-D player, but it's just in a point guard's body. He's not necessarily great on ball.
McBride's off ball. He's got to be off ball. That's his ideal spot.
Way better off ball.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
he's amazing off ball. If we know who PG #1 for the second unit is, along with Josh Hart coming off the bench as well, we are right in the Eastern Conference Finals, almost guaranteeing a final, because everybody's going to play their role. We're not going to go too far away from the defense, even though this is more of an offensive team. We're still going to produce on defense. But all in all, it's an exciting season to look forward to. We look good.
Yeah, no question. And I think, and appreciate the call, man. I think Payne is just going to be holding it down until Kolek is ready, until Tibbs feels like Kolek is ready, bro. I think it's clear to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't see how campaign. I think campaign, he's going to get demoted, man. I mean, we know campaign could be he could be a microwave scorer at times, but he can also shoot you out of a game. And, as a facilitator, he could be a little erratic. I mean, we even saw it in today's game. He just telegraphed the pass, threw it right to the defender's hands, and next thing you know, they're off and running. So I like Kolek's game, man. I just like the patience that he plays with. I think Tibbs likes it too. I think what we're going to see is what Tibbs did with Emmanuel quickly when he was here, right? Really make him earn it.
Yeah.
And that way he knows, all right, this is the level of play I expect from you. Sometimes you don't want to hand the keys over to a player just because they get comfortable playing a style, and then they can get a little bit more relaxed, right? And then they don't keep that edge that they had when they joined the roster. So I think Tibbs, what he's doing, he's trying to create an edge for Kolek, saying, look, if you want to be in this 9-man rotation, there's got to be a level of play that I see from you that I know that you understand that you have to produce at minimum on a night-to-night basis. So I'm looking at that. So campaign as of right now, he's getting that veteran preferred treatment. We know Tibbs also likes to give a preference to veterans when it comes to playing time and stuff of that nature. But I could see Kolek getting the spot over campaign as the season progresses, especially if he's showing that he can continue to facilitate at this level that he is. He has a good assist to turnover ratio. If he continues to make shots like that, I mean, that was what also got quickly into that rotation, right? If he could just continue to knock down threes, be that type of impactful player off the bench, and then I could start seeing that happening. But I think the big thing, though, is that Tibbs wants to make sure that he makes sure that Kolek knows that he has to come through with an edge. There has to be a minimum level of play that Kolek has to know from himself and that Tibbs expects on a night-to-night basis. I think that's what it is.
Got close to 3,000 people in here in the chat. Do us a favor,
on a
people.
Preseason
on
game.
A preseason night. Hey, Knicks Nation is there, anxious for Knicks basketball, man. Do us a favor at home. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Our Fanchise channel members are in here heavy. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new, and we will shout you guys out. TP the Fanchise, Alex Trataros here on the postgame show. The postgame engine is like revving up, man. The video's a little laggy. The engine's even revving up. I think the engine is just a little bit anxious right now, man. It's just one of those nights, man. You know what I mean?
It's a preseason game. We got close to 3,000 people tapping in.
Yeah.
Typically it's like, there's people tapping in, but it's 3,000 CP on a preseason. Like, this game started at 5 p.m. on a Sunday. We got football going on. We got playoff baseball going on. There's a lot going on today.
Yeah, man.
And we still got 3,000 people tapping in for a Knicks preseason game. Watch us on Postgame.
We locked in. Shout out to Banco Brim Al. Shout out to Frank White, Gabriel Ganak in here. Al, go ahead and shout out some of our Fanchise channel members, man. Who do you want to shout out, man?
Shout out to Jamaica Queens in here for being a Fanchise channel member. Shout out to King Deej.
King Deej.
Yeah. Got to shout out to my guy as always, man. Chief Mod in Operation TM. I see you in the building. We got, who else? We got 718 Fresh. We got Henry Strand in here. We got Jason Alicia in here as well. Who else we got? KG74 in here as well. We got Lou, the one. Shout out to all you guys, man. Shout out for all you Dr. D. Roy Bromwell. Shout out to you as well.
D-Roy, that's
always
our
tapping in, man.
Yeah, that's our brethren, man. Shout out to D-Roy. D-Roy, I hope you got your snap. We did. I think I did send a black KFTV snap over to D-Roy. So shout out to him. Shout out to Pit Bomb in the chat. Sid Leonard, you're not new. He's always in here, but they rock with us heavy. Harlem World represented. Henry Strand, salute. Who else? Jay Nori.
Son from Brooklyn.
John always in here. Talento never misses a show. He's first and last, man. He's always in here, man.
Eric L. Beats.
Holla at your boy, man.
Rare edition. Shout out to you. Shout out to you as well.
Shout out to our regulars. All right, back to the Discord we go. Let's get to the Fanchise channel members. Cordeezy, go ahead and unmute your mic. Cordeezy.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
How you doing, man? It's Chris from Charlotte. How you doing?
Good, man. Were you at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game. It was crazy.
What was the vibes, man? What was the vibes like in there?
Yeah, MVP chance for Brunson when he was at the free throw line. When Tyler came out to play, everybody's just expected a lot. So I'm excited to see him kind of take that spot from Cam over time while he develops. And then I'm also kind of worried about our center position now. After watching Precious play a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. But we have to just hold it down until Mitch comes back. So appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it for holding it down in the QC at the Spectrum Center. Yeah, they said. They said who's a beat reporter that said when Kolek got the block, they said you guys went crazy in there.
No, it was wild. I mean, like it was unexpected amounts of Knicks fans. I'm from New Jersey originally. Love going to Knicks games here.
That's cool.
It's just feel the energy, man, because it's something I don't get to hear all the time.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get there for the Black Friday joint for the NBA Cup, man. So make sure you link up if you're gonna be there. All right, he's going.
Sure, let me know, man.
All right, man. That's Cordeezy on the check-in. Salute to Cordeezy. Okay, let's go to Orpheus NYC, Fanchise channel member. Orpheus, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, thank you, CP. Thank you, Alex. First time calling in, been listening to you guys for a number of years. It's been really exciting. Looking forward to all these post games with you guys every night. It was a good win. It's nice to see them working on that pick and roll game with JB and Cat.
Yeah.
I love the ball movement. It looked like having three guys who can shoot and drive. Looked like they'll take a lot of stress off JB. And I agree with wanting Hart off the bench. It feels like he's going to lengthen the bench more than Mitch will, if that makes any kind of sense, because just Josh is more versatile. Like, obviously, he's going to start at first, like everybody's saying. But I think Tibbs gave Deuce and Precious a lot of minutes tonight because he might try them, because you know how he likes his spark plugs off the bench, and Josh is that guy. But come December, January, I think I like Mitch starting with Cat at the 4. Like, you'd still have some decent spacing, but, like, I think Tibbs is going to look at 2 7-foot guys. You know, Cat used to average a block and a half when he played the 5 before Rudy was there. I think Coach looks at 2 7-foot guys who are good on defense, can protect the rim, and he's going to, like, salivate at that. What do you think?
So meaning get Mitch in there. You're saying once Mitch gets back.
Yeah. When Mitch gets back, I think Hart can come off the bench and be that guy, and you have Cat at the 4, like, kind of naturally spacing the floor there, and you still have Mitch to protect the rim.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. You know, and that'll be the good thing once Mitch eventually does come back, is that they'll have that option. You know, where they could go Cat 5 or go with Twin Towers look. I love that.
Exactly what they did out in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
And look, if you do that, that's where, I mean, that's what Minnesota believe Cat would be at their best, but you just give that versatility, right? So on any given night, depending on who you play, you just continue to, like, let's even say that you're playing against the Philadelphia 76ers, right? And you want to alleviate Cat from having to guard Joel Embiid for the entire, like, say, postseason run, right? Let's just fast forward there. Think about that. You now make Joel Embiid's life a little bit more difficult because he has to go back and forth between, is it Mitch? Is it Cat? Who am I guarding? And then if you even think about Philly, right? Who they got? They got Martin out there playing the 4 right now. Like, he's not stopping any shot that Cat has on the perimeter. So that type of 5 would just be very dynamic. But that's the whole thing that this